People of the internet, today we are starting the series Joey Diaz is a Monster. And we'll be looking at the life of Joey Diaz. Is he the man, the comedian, the myth, the legend, the funny, lovable guy that everybody thinks he is? Or is there a dark side? So to begin, we will start by establishing patterns of behavior. And from those patterns of behavior, we can start to piece it all together and maybe find some truth. Now, the first clip I chose because in the Rogan sphere, they are always accused of using this edgelord comedy, racial, sexual, lowbrow, just not great humor that's shocking and meant to shock people. Often things people say you shouldn't say, right? And that is what the Rogan sphere has relied on. Well, I set out to go, okay, well, we're looking at Joey Diaz. Does Joey Diaz do this? So let's begin the first clip.
Shit.
Or in the park, in Griffith Park. You ever seen those gay guys pick up each other? Gay guys, listen, I love gay guys because they don't give a fuck.
Well, there's two extremes of gay guys.
Yeah.
There's the really very nice ones, and they're the ones that are fucking savages.
That's right.
That they'll
That's
fucking
right.
suck at the YMCA. The YMCA in Hollywood, bro. There's two of them on Sunday. That
Really?
one day somebody had to say something in the pool. And here's the crazy thing that bothered me about these two guys. That they looked gay, but they were borderline retarded looking gay. Like those retarded looking faggots, you know what I'm talking about? They were like on the borderline.
Wait, what's a retarded
You ever
looking
see
faggot?
you ever see
I'm not
like
sure I know.
like you ever see a chick on TV that sucks dick on YouPorn?
Yes.
And you can tell she got hit in the head with a stick somewhere along the line.
Okay.
Like they had surgery. Sometimes they have those low end they have those low end faggots that'll suck your dick
That's
at a park
right.
or on Santa Monica Boulevard at 6 a.m. You see
They
them
are
outside.
savages.
They're low
I
fuck.
know.
Listen, in Hudson County Park in Jersey, there was a guy that would ride around a bike, and while you were parked at the light, he'd pull up to you on the bike. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? Well, that's how his approach was, to suck your dick.
Yeah.
This guy was a professional dick sucker to pull up to you on a bicycle, on a
Professional
car.
dick sucker.
And you know what? I heard from people that he used to talk people into sucking their dick right on the bike. Like, pull up to you at the light.
Talk like straight people?
Like, people would say, dog, that, because we were talking about, bro, who's that faggot at the fucking Hudson County Park? Because we were trying to mug him, and we used to have a bike. So one day somebody was like, dog, that dude picks up big time pussy on that fucking bicycle. He gets guys coming in from New York and Jersey. He just pulls up to him on a bike. How you doing? It's a beautiful day today. What are you looking around for? A dick sucking or something?
Yeah.
He pick up guys on a
How many
bike.
guys are into having guys suck their dicks?
A lot, and
lot.
creepy ones. Like, dog, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I grew up in New York when New York was New York. Not that little fucking
Now, I want to establish a couple things here. Not only did we get one Rogan sphere person using a slur, we got two. We have Joey Diaz and Christina Pazitsky, Tom Segura's wife, using that. So this is something that they use. They're talking. This is early on before all the fame. And we can see that it's not just a pattern that has been occurring since the comedy mothership, but this is how they have always acted about it. And I want you to notice that he was talking pretty regularly. And then Joe Rogan, as soon as Joe Rogan, watch the clip back, Joe Rogan came in the room, he started using the slur as it's an indication or like some kind of bond or like, it's so cool, this is what we do. And it started when Joe walked in the room. So obviously, Joe is a participant. And also, notice how Joe said, when he said, how many people want to suck? Joe goes, like, straight people do? Like, he couldn't understand why straight people would want to, like, he does. Anyways, back to the point. The signaling when Joe walked into the room and Joey Diaz started using that slur, we say, well, obviously that's a pattern between the two of them that they have established, and that's the language that they use together. Now, to confirm this, we found a third person using a slur to establish that this is, in fact, something the Rogan sphere relies on, something that they rely on in their conversations with each other. Let's watch the clip.
It's crazy.
It's so crazy how, like,
crazy
in Great
it's
Britain,
devalued.
they won't even, like, report on a shooting spree because they don't want to, like, publicize the fact that someone would do such an insane thing. But I
Well-
feel like in America, we, like, thrive on it.
We do thrive on it, and that's why England's a better place than America. It's a more sophisticated culture. What? People at home, what the fuck, you fucking commie faggot?
Who got more gold medals?
You better fucking move! You want to leave this country?
Why don't
It's
you
in or out, bitch!
Take your vagina.
Now, that's a third person. Joe Rogan himself used the same slur in 2 different instances. And we can establish that the things that are being said today, the jokes they're using on Kill Tony, things like that, are the patterns that have always been there and just continue to develop over the years. And we have 3 people. Now, we can't be like, oh, this is an absolute truth. But we now have a very good indication that they do, in fact, rely on these things. Getting back to just Joey Diaz, we want to look at this next clip because it'll, in fact, give us indications on a few things. Some of those things related to Joey Diaz, and then broader to the Rogan sphere and the behavior in it. So let's take a look at this clip.
Oh, God.
I don't know how the fuck women made it out of there alive at 61. I remember one night I got up and I had the main room, and I remember getting up and like a comedian was there, another comedian was passed out, and his fucking girlfriend was balls ass naked on that fucking couch. And for 10 minutes I looked at her like, I'm gonna fucking tear this bitch up. I just didn't want to go to war. I mean, she was right there laying balls ass fucking naked.
You were thinking about just jumping on her?
Oh, just whacking right off on her fucking forehead.
Oh,
Who
my
gives a
You
fuck?
were going to just jerk off
Oh,
on her?
on all of them. I don't give a fuck. It was that type of party. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the 90s.
Now, we see that Joey Diaz tends to have no boundaries, tends to have no respect for women or his friends' relationships or anything like that. Joey Diaz is after himself. Now, if you look at some of the clips of Joey Diaz talking about women, back in these days, he would always call them victims. Now, I don't know why that is, but that is how Joey Diaz referred to women, when in actuality, is Joey Diaz had to, even if you willingly did it, I think you're a victim. Like, that guy is just not the nicest thing to look at. But I want to show you that this is he has a creep-like behavior. He's disgusting. He's despicable. He does not respect your privacy. He does not respect women's privacy, and he will do whatever he needs to get pleasure. That being said, Joey Diaz also said something I would like to point out in the broader sense of the Rogan sphere. As you may know, I did a video a couple weeks ago asking if Joe Rogan went to Epstein parties. We saw that Joey Diaz hosted them, was a part of it. So were his friends that went there. And we began to establish a pattern. If you notice at the end of this little story, Joey Diaz says it was that kind of party. Now, many of you will be quick to go ahead and excuse it. Well, if it was that kind of party, then the girl was drunk and passed out. It's about consent. It should always be something that 2 people want to do together. That's why. But notice, he said it's that kind of party. Another sex party. So now we're establishing a party, a pattern that the Rogan sphere does attend him. We now have Joey Diaz on the record attending more than one, and we have Duncan Trussell and the other guys attending at least one. So it becomes more plausible that this sex party thing might be a bigger deal than we think. Not to mention, Joe Rogan is on the record talking about Naomi Campbell's sex party. So now we have at least a majority of the Rogan sphere going to sex parties. You see how this adds up? This could be more true, but I'm not saying it is. It's just a theory. Now, moving on. Now, one of the things that comes out of the Rogan sphere is this disrespect for women. They don't know how to treat women. They don't know how to, they don't respect them. They're sexually aggressive, like we saw Tyler Fisher was fired from. And we see that obviously Joey Diaz has no boundaries. But I wanted to take a look deeper into their tactics, how they do things, how they view women, how they approach women. So I'll go ahead and play this clip.
It sounded pretty cool.
Yeah,
But now that you put it that way, yeah.
You really flushed that one out too well.
Asking someone to suck where you pee out.
It sounded better when you said put it in your mouth, however.
Yeah,
I like
know.
that.
Dirty talk. Isn't it amazing how some girls, you can just say the nastiest shit and they will fucking just go with you happily. And other girls, they just get turned off and it becomes so annoying and it becomes an ego thing. And it's like,
Have you ever
don't
been
want
wrong
talking
about
to
that
them.
before? Have you ever been like, oh, I'm with a girl that I can say whatever I want to, and then she gets offended by something? You're like, oh, I didn't know that was you. I
Yes.
thought you were somewhere different than that.
Yes, of course.
Christians.
And you know what? A lot of it is just people looking to claim righteous indignation. People looking to claim the moral high ground. Like if they have an opportunity to go, oh, you know, they could have been saying rude shit to you all night. You say one rude thing to them, like, oh, I can't even believe you would talk like that. You know?
Type of women you kill.
No, man. You just get them drunk and then you give them what they really want. Hot dick, right, Joe Diaz?
Fuck these bitches.
Now, notice that these guys that do these things will always say they're looking to be morally right. And you could say, that's what I'm looking to do. But it's not. I think this isn't like, this is a baseline level of respect. But I'm interested in knowing more about the Rogan sphere and solving this mystery, and also solving and proving or not proving the claims coming out of the Austin comedy scene. That being said, it should just be decent. It works better. It's not about your values, your moral consent. You can practice your stuff, do the things you like, as long as you have consent. That's all it is. It's not like some fucking light shining down on the sun. It's common sense. It's common sense. Just respecting people. If we could learn to respect people or stay out of the way of the people we don't respect, this world would be so much better. And it's about, if you like women, you enjoy their company, you want to have relationships with them, treat them with respect. And then there'll be all the things that you want to be because there's consent. I know people want to be dirty, I know, but you've got to get the okay first. That is just common sense. I don't need to sit up here and be like, oh, you're this political, you're that political, you're this. I'm none of that shit. I'm just saying it would make things a lot easier. But let's continue on.
Fuck them.
That's what you got to do to me. You got to hit them right off the fucking boat early. Like when I was a swinger, I hit them right off the boat early. Like 10 o'clock, you got to just get into their fucking heads and say something filthy.
Something filthy right
Not
away.
Not dirty, but filthy.
Dirty.
Like, I'm going to suck your pussy flaps off.
Yep.
And they'll look at you. And they'll fucking look at you like you're from another planet. And they'll call you a pig and you're a dirty fucking animal. And, you know, how can you talk like that to people? But that bitch will go to the other side of the bar. And she'll watch you the rest of the night. Mm-hmm. Because all these other jerk-offs are talking about their 401k and how their mom got them a house. You got to the root of the fucking matter. You're going to peel that pussy like a fucking artichoke. You understand me? And the more cocktails she gets, you know when they give you that Malouk eye, that they're all drunk and they'll give you that eye like you're a pig. Yeah, but you're still talking to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Bitch,
left
now
yet.
it's 2 and nobody's here talking to your pathetic ass. But Pop is here to suck that fucking monkey right.
So go for the one that no one.
Now, once again, Joey Diaz proves himself to be absolutely disgusting. And he honestly admits to being a pig. Which, shit, series done, right? But I want you to notice a few things about this. This is Joey Diaz, hello, my name is conversation with somebody, and he automatically says that, which means he has no respect for ladies, because in his world, it's that addict mentality. It's all about getting what he wants at the expense of everybody else. And you can see that Joey does that. And also, every time I hear these stories, they're always so disgusting, like behind a trailer, in a cheap motel, in the back of a dead man's car, always some crazy shit, right? You could see that Joey is an opportunist. He knows he's not the most attractive man, so he goes to the most degenerate places where the most desperate people are wanting to do the same things. Just look at that. He just lives in the filth. It's just what I'm seeing. If you're not seeing it, I don't know. People that do those kind of things are like the same people, that were like hooking up with people in the Craigslist ads. You know what I mean? Did you hear the stories about that? People, Lord Jesus. It's just these people that naturally don't get that kind of attention or you know what I mean? They don't have relationships. They don't have regular interactions. They tend to do this like really stuff. It's different. It's different. It's different. I just think it's gross. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's gross and reeks of desperation. Just all of Joey Diaz stories. Like, has anybody found themselves in those kind of situations? Like, Joey Diaz probably has a glory hole story. You know what I mean? And he has stories where he used to go like meet up with people in the, remember when they used to have those watch rooms, those little booths in porn stores? He probably has a couple of those stories. Anyways, moving on. Now in this clip, we're continuing to establish behaviors. Now, Joey Diaz is going to tell another story. I want you to see if you can recognize the patterns here.
I still remember when I was playing kickball with Lucy Snorbush, and she
That's not a real name, Joey. That's not a real name.
who had a fucked up.
That's an iCarly name.
This bitch had a fucked up mug, but she was like 5'8" in the 8th grade, and I broke into her house and ate her pussy one night on a Quaalude. I just couldn't take it. This bitch was banging. And after my mother died,
Lucy Snodgrass?
I lived with Bob Bender. Her name was Lucy Snorbush. And she had, bro. I climbed up a fucking ladder like oh Susanna, won't you cry for me? I climbed up the ladder, opened up a door. I knew she was out drinking, so she wasn't gonna say nothing. I just jumped on the bed, ate her pussy, and left like a burglar. Her name was Lucy Snorbush, and she was fucked. Her grill was okay, but her body was banging from the time she was like 7. This bitch was banging. I was like 8. I met her. But she used to have a
Ate her
gold
pussy
pond.
on a Quaalude.
Broke into her house.
I was like 17. And as I was walking down the hill to the house, I'm thinking about whose pussy am I going to eat tonight? And I knew this chick was out. Like, she was out earlier. And whenever she drank, she was kind of loose dog. I went right into her yard, put a ladder in, climbed up the fucking ladder, opened the window. She's like, who's there? Who's there? Don't even ask. I just fucking pulled the pants, ate a monkey, and climbed back out like a fucking vampire.
That's all you did?
She seen me like a week later. She's like, that was amazing that night. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
My window's unlocked.
Like a thief in the night and shit. I didn't even.
Notice that Joe said that's all you did. But let's talk about the patterns. Now we see that Joey Diaz and the Rogan sphere like drunk girls, like to get girls drunk. I believe Joe Rogan's wife was a cocktail waitress when they met. And also, is it strange, but does Joey Diaz have a thing for drunk, passed out girls? It seems to be. And I'm a little curious how one gets the motivation to break into a girl's house and do that. I would think that's pretty creepy. I would think that's a terrible thing to do. And I just couldn't imagine why that would even be a thought in your head. There are many words we could call that action. And you notice that the girl doesn't even know who he is, so he just goes and forces himself on her. And he tells these stories, and nobody's saying anything about, like, holy shit, that's kind of outrageous. That's kind of wrong. But now we've established a pattern that it seems that, at least from Joey Diaz's standpoint, he doesn't respect women. He takes what he wants. He only thinks about himself. We see that Joe Rogan said that he would just get girls drunk and then give them the old D. And it seems to be a pattern amongst the Rogan sphere that they don't respect women and they just take what they want. Now, a lot of times these are the things that people think of when they think of how the Rogan sphere is bad. But I wanted to point out something on top of all the bad stuff, Joey Diaz, and this is just only the start. We're starting at the bottom. Despite all the bad things that Joey Diaz has done, how he treats women, how he treats language, how he has no respect for anybody else, he also did something truly, truly horrifying. On top of that, let's look.
So we're going, and there's 5 guys, and we killed them.
Joey's just seen more life.
As I live, like the other day, look what came out the other day. Joe's known me. I never told Joe this. Joe, I think, had inklings when this was going on. When I was getting coked up, I wasn't getting coked up with them. I was selling coke to Whitney Houston.
Oh, I heard that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, this was one of the weirdest things. This went on for 3 or 4 months, and this just came to me because I was thinking about Stanhope on the drive, and I go, oh my God. That all was tangled up with that whole 4 months of just, and this is what I wanted to clarify. Like, she would come with this dude that was her manager, and she would sit in the front seat of this car and wouldn't say 2 words to me. She was more embarrassed than I was.
Than you were, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because she was at this point in her life. This is a Grammy fucking
She's Whitney
singer.
Houston, and she's buying
coke. 3
coke.
times I seen her, bro. She didn't say 2 words to me, like, hello.
Why would she get in the car with you? I would just send somebody
I would have to get in the car to drop off the blow. This is on the street. I'm on I'm in Hollywood, fucking California.
Okay.
But even that, I had forgotten that.
Now, Joey Diaz says that he sold drugs to Whitney Houston, which in my mind is a crime. Why is that a crime? Because I'm going to be honest with you. Whitney Houston had one of the most incredible, soul-piercing voices. I don't care if you're a death metal, hip-hop, drum and bass. When that lady stood up and sang, the world stopped. And Joey Diaz was a part of that lady's demise. One of the greatest voices you will ever hear in your life, in the history. Anyways, that's a crime. Now we will continue this series, and we will further look into Joey Diaz, and we'll be able to further prove the claims against the Rogan sphere, or not prove them, because this is all a theory. This isn't truth. This isn't claims. We're just using their words and trying to interpret them. Now let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.